Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Kev's Movie Corner. I'm Kev, and this week we are talking about the 2021 Disney movie Jungle Cruise. Like I just said, this movie came out in 2021. The summary from IMDb says, a small riverboat takes a group of travelers through a jungle filled with dangerous animals. That, I think entirely misses the mark on what this movie is even supposed to be about. That is the premise of the ride at Disneyland and Disney World and every Disney park that the ride is at around the world, but not really the premise of the movie at all. This movie's rated PG-13. It's just over 2 hours long. It starts out telling kind of a history, kind of a story, a legend about a Spanish conquistador in the Amazon who's trying to find a sacred tree that can cure anything, basically. Its flowers can cure any disease, any illness. And as he's searching for it, he supposedly comes across the people who protect it, and ends up trying to get to the tree, and is but the rainforest protects it, and he's basically cursed to live along the river, the Amazon River, for all eternity. And it goes kind of from that into the main story of this woman and her brother who are now looking for the tree to try and trying to help the war effort in the I guess this would be World War II, in 1916, trying to help the British war effort and, basically help the UK, help medicine in England. And it's a fantasy adventure, so you've got Emily Blunt, who's playing Lily Houghton, I guess. Yeah, I'm guessing Houghton. I don't remember how they pronounced it in that. Jack Whitehall is her brother, playing MacGregor. He's giving a presentation to a group of a society, and it's only because she can't get in because they don't allow women in the early 1900s. And when they basically reject him, she goes and steals an artifact that she's using to try to find this tree. So they end up going to the Amazon. In this whole ordeal, she ends up also fighting with a German prince who is also trying to get this the powers of this tree to basically rule the world. So You've got that kind of going on at the same time. So you've got a couple different plots going on together. He's like the antagonist of this movie, the second antagonist. So you got a couple different ones. But they end up going to the Amazon, and they come across. This is when you meet Frank. Frank is the captain of a river cruise in the Amazon. He is taking a group of people on a cruise and telling jokes, really bad jokes, punny jokes, that everybody's just groaning at the entire time, which is comical. And just, just kind of going down the river, making up stuff as he goes. And he comes in contact with Lily and MacGregor and ends up agreeing to take them down the river to find this tree. As they're trying to leave, they get chased by the German prince, who's also trying to find it again. That whole ordeal happens as well again, so they kind of get into a little battle as well again. You've got this whole... And then you've kind of got this whole, trip where they're getting to know each other, but they're still kind of fighting. Lily and MacGregor don't trust Frank. Frank doesn't really trust them. But they're just kind of they work together because they just kind of want to get there. And eventually you learn that Frank was one of... You kind of have hints along the way if you ever pay attention. But if you really pay close attention. But you eventually learn that Frank was one of the original conquistadors that was cursed 400 years before, and is now just working on the river because he can't leave the side of the river. So he gives them more story about what happened, everything that went on, why they were cursed, how he, got away from what was going on, and Lily and him kind of grow up. They kind of become a little bit more of a romantic relationship in this, but eventually they end up finding the tree, get into a fight with the German prince, and Aguirre, the conquistador who has been brought back to life, which is another whole ordeal that's going on during this whole thing as well. And they end up finding the tree. They end up getting one petal, which Lily ends up using just to keep Frank alive, basically. And that's the whole thing. She sacrifices using it to help millions of people to keep them alive in England, just to keep Frank, just keep take the curse away from Frank and keep him alive, and that's and then he ends up going back to live with them in England, and that's kind of where the movie ends. It's a nice it's a nice ending, but it kind of defeats the whole. It's a very Disney ending because it's very happy and feel good and everything, but it kind of defeats her whole purpose from the beginning of trying to help people, which is kind of odd if you really think about it and watch it. So I don't know really what to think about that. I don't really like that too much. I think it's too. I mean, I understand you're gonna, people do crazy things for love, but they've only known each other for a week or something, so it's just a lot. I just watched this movie yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, last night. I've seen it before. I do enjoy it. So I do, there are, I do have criticisms of it, just like anything. I think there are some plot holes in it, but I think it's interesting to watch. It's a fun, little adventure movie. Um, it's based on, obviously, the Jungle Cruise that's in Disneyland and Disney World and whatever. Um, Pretty much everywhere. Uh, which opened in 1955, originally in Disneyland when the park opened. Um, a lot of the puns that Frank, puns and jokes that Frank makes, um, are pulled straight from the ride. That skippers say when they're, you know, on the attraction. Um, there's several different references to the Society of Explorers and Adventurers, the SEA, which is the society that they're talking about. The Adventurers Club, which was part of Pleasure Island and Downtown Disney and Disney World. They talk about Dr. Albert Fall's expedition, which he's one of the characters on the Jungle Cruise. That's one of the so there's a lot of different callbacks to the ride. Obviously, there's callbacks to other rides too, or to other things too. There's a couple nods to Pirates of the Caribbean in it as well. Um, you also have Trader Sam in it, which Trader Sam is in the ride as well. Um, it's played by a woman in this. She wears a top hat, which at one point she gets a top hat from Lily because that's something that she wants. And Trader Sam in the ride wears a top hat, or used to wear a top hat. I don't think you actually see Trader Sam in the ride anymore, but I thought it was interesting that I found that they wanted to make this. They wanted to make a movie about the ride ever since Pirates of the Caribbean did well in 2003, like the first Pirates of the Caribbean, but they couldn't find somebody to produce it. So they tried a couple times, it failed, until The Rock, uh, picked it up because he likes the ride and was interested in it and started to push it forward. So I thought that was interesting. Um, and I also thought it was interesting that Aguirre and the German prince were both real people. So the German prince um, he was a real person. Um, he died in 1920, at the age of 29. He died at his own hand after his father abdicated the throne. He died from depression after his father abdicated the throne, which made him a commoner. And Aguirre was executed in 1561 after rebellion against the Spanish monarchy. He had the nickname of the Madman because of his conquest through South America, which was basically a slaughter, like just horrific. And he was also known for a search through the Amazon for the golden city, the mythical golden city of El Dorado. So I just thought it was interesting that they pulled in like real people from time periods around these areas and things to make it, these areas and time periods to make it more like tie it together and make it a little more like interesting, kind of tie it into history a little bit. It's still not, because they've made up the story, but I just thought it was something fun. Again, like I said, it's a couple hours long. I enjoy it. It's fun. I've seen it a few times, so I went and saw it in theaters. I remember going to see it in theaters, so it is a lot of fun. So I do enjoy it. But yeah, I think that is it for this week's episode. Hope you all enjoyed this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and I will talk to you all next week.